Gotta do a whole bunch of steps just to play Smash Brothers. What the hell? What the hell? Hang on a minute. Something strange happened. Huh. I want to get this. That's no. No. Nope, there we go. Got it. It shouldn't be this much effort, but... Vinny, why should you have to adjust your display? Ask everyone else to adjust theirs. I agree. Yes, I agree, yes. Crenando has appeared. Crenando joins the fray. This fucking song. Does anyone else agree with me when I say I think that's the best Smash Brothers song? Like, the one for Wii U is good too, and Melee had some good music. Like, they all had good original music, but this is my favorite. I'm still gonna try Snake, even though I'm pretty rotten with Snake. I might eventually get good with Snake, but it's just too good of an opportunity to pass up. IKEA is no longer with us, I'm sorry to say. Did I... Is this where I was last time? Didn't I get further than this? No? Did I load the wrong save file? You can warp? You can warp, you can cry, but whatever you do, don't hurt each other. You always spawn there. Well, I can't warp. It's not letting me warp. There are 4 main hubs, you only have 1 of them. I guess I'm going to the right. Come on! Yes. Yes, good. At that moment, the cunt was in all of us. Continue! Some of the enemy designs, I will say, are exceptionally lame. Like that thing right there. No thanks. What? No, no, no. Whoops. Yep, I'm really good with Snake. Really good with Snake. I accidentally shot a bomb up there with the mortar. Really good with Snake, though. Cool trip. Spot a bot. Now would be a good time to talk about input delay. Have you heard the good news of input delay in our Church of Latter-day Saints? Well, if you just let me into your home and give me 20 minutes of your time, I can explain all about input delay. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to go through this shit again. Make no mistake, the input delay is only but a minor part of the failings of I. The rest is all the game's fault. Just call me DSV. No, it's true though. It is my fault. I'm a hot garbage mess at this game. Which is a shame, because at one point I thought I was decent at it. well, those days are over. When new Smash comes out, you know, I'll be good at that eventually. I'll just be rotten at it for a couple months and then maybe I'll be able to, you know, acquire some skill. Somewhere in there is some skill. I remember when I would fight the chat in Smash 4 from the internet. We would fight over the internet. Can you believe that? And that was like input delay city, if you want to talk about input delay.
Continue.
That shit was fucking impossible though. Like no matter what game you play, you get good at in your own house, just go online. I kind of feel like I shouldn't have to do all this again. As if this maze nonsense wasn't annoying enough. Aside from the Bowie exhibit, do you have any stories to tell us? Meng, I've been streaming every day for like 2.5 weeks or more. All my stories have been told, and probably a couple times. Vinny, go back to the other door. The door there is a warp point. I thought that was just gonna take me back to Titty City. You did not activate the warp. You're right, I didn't activate the warp. It did take me to Titty City, I was right about that. Robertson Town. I get it. Okay. Someone said they missed the Wolfenstein stream where I talked about how a member of the Beach Boys ruined my night. Yeah, but the thing about that is I told that story dozens of times and each time was different. No one knows exactly what happened that night, let alone me. No, it's a real story. It really happened. I saw the Beach Boys 4th of July, 2016. But it's not the Beach Boys, it's just Mike Love, who was the least talented member of the Beach Boys. You know? And so he's still calling it the Beach Boys, and John Stamos was there, and I got stuck in traffic and I had to pee. And I was running out of gas, and it was cold, and I was getting rained on. It was just a perfect combination of bad, punctuated by Mike Love. Have mercy. Someone said rained on in July. Well, yeah, it can rain in July too. Is it the time you peed in a bottle? I had to. And as I peed, there was a cop that walked by. That's the real story. It wasn't Mike Love dressed as a cop. It wasn't John Stamos dressed as like a circus clown. It was an actual cop that was like walking by my car. So, as all this was happening, I actually had to... I had no gas. I was on 1 bar in the gas tank. Like, it was at the very end of my gas, and we weren't moving. The traffic was so bad. It was 4th of July at Coney Island after a pretty packed Beach Boys concert and fireworks when it started to rain. I left late. The traffic wasn't moving. An hour and a half, about an hour and a half of me in traffic. Pitt's recovery is insane, by the way. And so I was running out of gas, and it was not fun. So I had to make a decision. Do I hope that the nearest gas station... Like, am I gonna be able to make it to the nearest gas station? I mean, idling wastes gas too, so I had to do the only thing I could do, which is I had to pull over, turn off my car. And I couldn't find a spot to pull over for a while, so I was still wasting gas while looking for a spot to pull over so I could not waste gas. So finally I find a spot, and that's where I decided to pee. I had no choice. It was like hurting. My bladder was on fire. So I had to pee. And so I made the decision. I was like, listen, it's raining, no one's gonna see this. And as I start peeing, a cop walks by. Like, they didn't look at my car, but I started freaking out, and I actually stopped peeing midstream, which led to a whole host of other complications. I'm not gonna tell you about that, but that hurt like a motherfucker. It was a terrible night. Yes, midstream. Yes, midstream. Yes, because I freaked out. I panicked. And I thought this dude's gonna arrest me for peeing in a bottle in my own car. I don't know, man. It was a long night. So finally, after about 25-30 minutes of me waiting with my car off, with no gas, and, you know, my phone is dying, but I can't turn the car on, because I'm afraid, you know, I'm gonna, like, waste battery, but my phone is good. At least I had the phone. I had the phone, I had internet, so that's good. Like... So anyway, yeah, so then, I guess... all at once, after like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, the traffic starts to dissipate. Like, all at once. It was like... I was almost at the very end of the traffic. And then the roads were totally clear. It was amazing. It was absolutely, like, I'd never seen anything like that. So I waited another couple minutes just to make sure. And then I drove to a gas station, which was about a minute-and-a-half drive away, but if I was in that traffic, it would have been a half hour, and I might have run out of gas completely. So I made, you know, I had to make the best decision for my own fucking survival, and I did. And John Stamos jerked off while it happened. Okay, that part was the lie. Gas station prices are always pretty rough. But I don't remember what they were in Coney Island, but it's New York City gas prices, it's not fun. Did I drink? Yeah, I had an alcoholic beverage or two. That was the problem too, because after the show, I went to Nathan's, which is like the Coney Island staple. You have to go to Nathan's. So I had, you know, a couple beers, and then I went to Nathan's and had like soft drink beverage, or probably just water or iced tea or something. But usually my bladder is pretty amazing. So I thought I could like wait. I thought I could hold out until I got home, or, you know, that I didn't feel like I had to pee when I got in my car, let's say that. Nor did I expect the drive to be an hour and 55 minutes or so. And then I streamed when I got home like a fucking maniac. So that stream is still on the Full Sauce channel to this day. It's a Wolfenstein stream. Yeah. Coney Island is usually not that far away, so I just figured I'd be able to survive. What year is it? 2016. 4th of July 2016. Maybe that'll isolate it for you. That's how close I was last time to unlocking a new warp. Why didn't you take the train? There is no train that goes from Staten Island to Brooklyn, or any other borough for that matter. The only way you can get to Brooklyn in a public transportation setting is the bus, and I'm not entirely sure if there's a bus that goes directly to Coney Island. Staten Island, it fucking sucks when it comes to public transport. You have a ferry, and if you miss the ferry, you gotta wait another half hour to an hour, depending on when it is. So yeah, it sucks. There's no subway system into Brooklyn. No, we're totally isolated over here. This is one of the reasons they call Staten Island the Forgotten Borough. It's almost mandatory to drive, whereas the rest of New York City, you don't want a car. You can't park. Parking is expensive and rare. And the traffic is usually really awful. So living here, you kind of drive everywhere. Which I like to drive, and I usually drive into Manhattan and like Jersey and stuff, no problem. That night was just a fucking shit show. But that's another reason why I usually leave concerts a little early. Like midway through the final song of the night, I'll leave, hear it as I'm walking out, but I have the advantage of getting to my car faster and avoiding some of the traffic. So like when I was at the Noel Gallagher show, I left during... He did a cover of All You Need Is Love. So I stayed for half of it and then I left. And then I got to my car, which was in a lot. I just drove home, no problem. Easy. Queens of the Stone Age at Madison Square Garden, their last song, I was like, okay, this song is half over. Time to leave. And I know people Actually, last time I told people I did that, they were like, what? Why would you do that? It's worth it. Trust me. You can still hear it as you're leaving. Buy merch after? I buy merch before, actually. Like, I bought a shirt at the Paul McCartney concert and a shirt at the Queens of the Stone Age concert. And yeah, both times were before. And also, too, you have a greater chance of getting the item you want if you do it. Like, get there a little early. Then you have to carry or wear it. It depends. If it's a seated gig, it's not a problem. Yeah, if it's a standing gig, then that's not so great. Like, the Pixies were a standing gig, but I only bought a pin. I didn't like their shirts. That's another thing, too. Sometimes bands, like... I don't buy a shirt... Oh, God. I don't buy a shirt every time. Because they're expensive. But for Paul McCartney, I found a really good one. Queens of the Stone Age had a really good one. The Pixie shirts kind of sucked. And you know what the funny thing is, too? Even though the McCartney and Queens of the Stone Age gigs were seated, everyone stood anyway. Like, even at the Noel Gallagher show, I was standing the whole time. It was at Radio City, which is... you know, seating. But people just stand. You just stand in front of your seat. But it's good because then you can keep like a beer in the holder. You can keep your merch like on your seat. What's my favorite McCartney song? Solo or Beatles? How about I do one of each? Oh my god. How I can't choose. I could, you know, I could say Band on the Run. That's an easy one, but it's not my. I like Magneto and Titanium Man. That's a really good one. Too Many People off of Ram. Uncle Albert. I'll give you a couple. Those are his solo songs I like. And for the Beatles, I like, it goes, when I call you up, your line's engaged. I don't remember the name of it. What's the name of that one? It's on Rubber Soul, I think. You Won't See Me. Yeah, there you go. I like that one a lot. McCartney's not even my favorite Beatle. But... oh, shit. But he's great. He's got good songs. I'm also a big fan of, I got a feeling deep inside, oh yeah. You Never Give Me Your Money is great, off of Abbey Road. Oh my god, Fixing a Hole, Lovely Rita. Jeez. No, I'm sick of Hey Jude. I can't, you know, You hear a song too much, it just, you know... Listen, I kind of unironically like Temporary Secretary. I know we've memed about it, but I actually think that that's a... It's a very well-designed pop song. It's catchy, and it's silly, and I kind of like it. The synthesizer is the most annoying part. That was hard. Someone in chat just said, I'll be honest, sometimes when you go to BRB, I just mute the song and listen to Temporary Secretary. Wow. If it makes you happy, I'd say there's no shame in it. Eleanor Rigby and I'm Only Sleeping. I'm Only Sleeping is great. Eleanor Rigby, that's, well, that's John. I'm Only Sleeping. Eleanor Rigby is still a really good song. I mean, it's the Beatles. There's a reason that they're overplayed, and as some people would say, overrated, because the songwriting was so fucking good, catchy, and it just gets stuck in your head for weeks. That was, my intro to the Beatles was like the hits, but then when I bought Revolver, I was done. I was like, okay, clearly this is a band, I need to buy the rest of their albums. And I did, you know. Someone said I don't get the fascination with them. That's okay, different strokes for different folks. You know, it's just, I don't know, I just really love them. I can't really explain why I like this. Why do you like the things you like? It's hard to know. You just, you know, there's like a natural kind of connection. Hey! There was, at the Bowie exhibit, there was some Beatles stuff. They actually had a copy of the Sgt. Pepper record that, I don't know if it was Bowie's, but it was influential enough that it was like when they, the part of the exhibit that covered his early life and early career, there was a number of, you know, it kind of went to like the skiffle bands that Bowie grew up with, and like R&B musicians, and like Little Richard, and you kind of get a feel for what Bowie was into when he was younger. And then there's the section where it hits 1967, and then music got a little different. And you can see Bowie's music got different too, and so they had like the display of Sgt. Pepper and everything. Little Richard. Fuck. Oh man. Great, now that artist has been ruined for me. Big Robertsons meet Little Richard. They'll co-op, they'll duo some Fortnite. These little rapscallions. You know, people still think I'm credited with inventing the term jabroni because The Rock did an AMA, and I think it was a Jape AMA. I don't know. I didn't actually check it out. And he said, "Hey jabronis," something like that. And people were like, "Vinny, is that you?" I'm like, I actually had no. Yeah, I didn't make up that word. That's actually the Iron Sheik's word. All right. Since there's been enough time, and there's plenty of new people here, the word jabroni means, like, someone who just gets the job done. It's a wrestling term that the Iron Sheik was calling people backstage, that The Rock heard and borrowed and started saying a lot, and it became part of his presence. And it means, like, just someone who's like, you know, just like, oh, they do the job. It's an insult. It's like, I don't really know how to explain they do the job. That doesn't sound like an insult, but it is, it's just a weird wrestling thing. Like someone who would take the fall, you know, for another wrestler. So, we use that because of, Gotchi. You know, Van Darkholm, what was it, Mark Wolf, Billy Harrington, they say that word. Because, you know, they're wrestlers. They're wrestlers! Oh, rip Billy. But it's true, though. That's actually, like, Leather Club's 2 blocks down. Why don't you get out of that, jabroni outfit? So we started using it on stream frequently, and it became associated with Vinesauce, but we didn't invent it. You did invent jape, right? You're japing. No, that's another thing. Someone thought I edited fucking Wikipedia and dictionary.com to include the entry jape. But that's not... No. No, I didn't make that word up. That's a real one. I know I make up stupid words, but that's a real one. Like, you'll see that while you're reading Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. I invented pizza too, yep. Pepperonis. Why do people not know that? It's not that... I don't even think that that's, an embarrassing error to make. There's plenty of words that people don't know. You know, whether or not they're native English speakers. It's, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of words that exist in this world. There's a website that had, like, uncommon words that I just checked out. I was like, wow, there's a word for everything. There are a lot of words. This is an insightful and interesting discussion I'm having with you all. But I don't think that that's a shameful thing to not know what jape is, or jabroni, or whatever, and to think it's, like, invented, because I do say things like scrungus, you know. Isn't a book of uncommon words called a thesaurus? You smartass. Yes. Yes, it is, but there's also a website that compiles outdated, archaic, words no longer used in our common vernacular. Either words that have been replaced, or they're from a different era and we no longer need that specific thing. Just words that have exited the lexicon. They're rare, just like, you know, memes on the internet, like when you get a rare meme, like a really, really spicy rare meme. A thesaurus is a book of words with similar meanings. It is. Yes. But I mean, technically that dude was right. There are in fact many words that you can find in a thesaurus that maybe you've never heard of. I was gonna say, this is like the most unnecessary minecart section. And then I exit the minecart and I regret everything. If it's cheesy but it works, then it just works. I missed the dive bombs. They were removed in Smash 4. You can't do dive bombs with Pit. I love that you actually unlock music in this game too. There's so many remixes and tracks that you can actually unlock them. They really did not spare any expense. Macho Man Stephanie McMahon urban legend. I'm not that versed on wrestling lore. I watched a Bret Hart documentary once. Does that count? I think I packed too much. But it is always good to be safe. Speaking of, here's a tip for traveling. Maybe someone has a better tip, but here's my tip. Bring a garbage bag with you for dirty laundry. That way your other clothing does not get infested with, like, rot. I'm sure you could, you know, find another type of unit with which to contain your shitty laundry, but that's how I do it. Because I don't have, like, those massive laundry, like, suitcases. So I just have, I actually bought a bag recently. I needed a new one. So I have a duffel bag that Rockstar gave me, which was the best thing that Rockstar's done since GTA 5 released, and the only thing. I don't mean to throw shade, I love Rockstar, but, like, damn son, we need some games. Like, I'm ready for Red Dead. Let's do it. I'm gonna stream that shit too, but, you know... I don't know when it's coming out. Like, I really want that. Anyway, Rockstar, you know... I love... They treated me so good when I went to that place, even though they didn't put me on camera. But that's a whole different story. There's probably people here who weren't around for that, but a couple of years ago, Rockstar invited me to play GTA. And, they gave me, like, a goodie bag with a... That's awesome, that. They gave me, like, a goodie bag with a bunch of shit, like shirts, it was like a tote bag, a duffel bag, a hard drive, like a little external hard drive, some, stickers. It was the coolest free shit I've ever gotten in my life. So I used the duffel bag for, I used the duffel bag, but I needed a new one because my old, like, travel bag was just, like, gross. It wasn't even mine, it was a hand-me-down, and it was disgusting, and it was, like, cracked, The material was thin? Yes, the material was cracked. I don't know what it was made out of. No, it wasn't leather. It wasn't leather. It was like, it's like a plastic type? I don't really know how to explain it. It was really thin material.
Continue.
Like, why would that be in the game? Come on. Oh. Oh! My brain just did not acknowledge that. Yes, I'm blaming my brain, which is separate from me. I absolve responsibility from myself. I was like, oh, that's just gonna shoot me into that cannon that's gonna shoot me into the ground again. Yes. Anyway, so, I bought a new bag, and, it was on Amazon. Amazon, I have to say, they have some pretty quality shit on the cheap. And I've enjoyed a lot of the, a lot of the stuff that I got from Amazon. Like, you go to Kohl's, or a similar place, and you're spending double the amount. And it's not as good. Or it's just as good. Hang on, where's the check? I'm looking... Wait, never mind. Amazon didn't send me my check. As I was saying, go to Kohl's and purchase their good products instead, because those products are very good products. No, but yeah, I got a travel bag, and it's interesting. I've never seen a travel bag do this. Maybe you guys have, but it's got zippers on the sides of it a little bit that you open up, and it makes the bag a little wider. And then you can compress the zippers, or rather, you can zip it up, and it compresses the bag, so you can make it smaller. That's common. Really? I've never seen that. Then again, I've been using a crusty old plastic travel bag for the past 10 years of my life, so... Vinny, how have you never had a bag that did that? I don't know, I used the crust bag. It's just a crusty travel bag that didn't have any good technology like that. You're making me feel... You're making me feel like I've missed out on something amazing all these years. Why does everything have to be crusty? I made that word up. Man, here I am. I think I'm telling, like, tales of an interesting and new technology. And everyone in chat's like, oh, I've had that for years. Come on, Brain Yacht, how come you haven't seen that before? Come on, Bernard. Speaking of Bernard, Westworld Season 2, soon. Alright guys, I have to tell you a secret. Can you all keep a secret? How good can you keep a secret? Okay. Yes? Alright, good, good. Keep a pep secret. Shh. Alright. I'm going to both the Twitch and the YouTube party this year at PAX. Shh. Don't tell anyone. I'm spying on one for the other, with no loyalties to either side. I've already mentioned this on stream, so it's not much of a secret, but... I'm going to determine which one had the best party. I'm a double agent. I'm lecherous. Vinny, there's over 5,000 people watching this. Oh, I thought there were 3. Here, look. See where it says slow 3 on my chatty? I thought it meant that the chat is slow tonight. There's 3 people here. Vinny, you might want to look up the word lecherous and find out what it means before the next time you use it. I know what it means. Someone called me a whore for going to both Twitch and YouTube's parties. So I said, yes, lecherous. Well, looks like we got an English major in the chat. Eh? Oh! We got an English major, eh? A comedian. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'll let you guys know which one had the best party. Last year it was the YouTube gaming party that gave birth to Brian with a Q, the mixology bartender who gave the fur of a yak, the Himalayan mountain goat hair, ice shaved from a Yeti, an orange toupee, and, you know, pubic hair from a saint long departed into the finest mixology drink ever. You guys don't know about this? Oh, okay. How many new people do we have from the past year alone? I'm wondering, because this was like a huge thing that I went on about to the point of annoyance for probably like way longer than I should have. Okay, there's a lot of new people. Fair enough. Alright, listen. Listen up, lads. It was just a bar called a mixology bar where they experiment with, drinks. And the idea is that you go there and they have So the YouTube party was held at this bar, and the bartender was very insistent. In fact, the host of the evening was like, listen, we encourage you to experiment and let our bartender steward guide you in the right direction to try an experimental and interesting drink that you'll never forget. And the thing is, I just wanted a fucking Jack and Coke or like a Maker's Mark on the rocks. So that's my drink of choice, Maker's on the rocks, right? If I'm gonna be at like a whiskey type situation. So the bartender, who has both a man bun and shaved sides of head, no offense if anyone does that, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'm describing what the dude looked like. And he had like, a sleeveless, like, sports jacket. You know what I mean? And like a, sleeveless, button-down white shirt. So, he was like, I was like, can I get a Maker's on the Rocks? He's like, well, you know, my dude, I would really suggest that you try, you know, I have this whiskey drink that you should try out. It's like, okay, my dude, it's like Himalayan yak fur combined with a little bit of orange meringue pie, mixed with a sweet vermouth, topped off with a cherry from the finest, like, grape yards of Nepal, even though cherries aren't grapes, but we all know that, my dude. You gotta try this drink, it's called the Sleazy Scumbag. You'll love it. So I was like, can I, no, I just want a Maker's on the Rocks, like just Maker's Mark. He's like, alright, I'll tell you what, I've got a whiskey here. It's called 365 Death. You can combine that with a little bit of Mountain Dew, alright? A little bit of this ice that we shave, alright? You mix that with some canned air for effect, and the ground up particulates of a Shark's Tale GameCube game. You throw that all together, and you combine it with a little whipped cream, and you got yourself something that I made for you. Maker. See, I'm the maker. So that's your drink, my dude. And I'm like, what? No, I just want a Maker's Mark. And, you know, and so finally he gave me, like, a relatively simple mixed drink. That wasn't overly wacky. Which was, you know, it was whatever it was strong as fuck. And, it was good, but, you know, again, and then they had these, like, weird small plates. Like, they had these fucking hors d'oeuvres. It was like just people coming around with like little meatballs. Not that they weren't good meatballs, they were fine. They were fine meatballs, but like they were like weird like meat. Then there was like meat cubes and like a leek. You would just like grab a leek off of a plate and it was like shaved. You know? It was weird. It was weird. It was just a... I'm gonna use the term hipster to the extreme. And that's not my style. I'm simple. I was willing to give it a shot, and it was cool. But it wasn't my style. That's all. So the, you know, the joke came and it came and went, and then it kept coming, then it came again. And I dubbed the bartender hello, my dude, my name is Brian. Hello, my dude, my name is Brian. And when that's with a Q. And how can I be your steward for this evening as I guide you on your magical tastic journey into the land of mixology drinks? And it's like, well, where's the Q? Oh, well, it's B-R-I-Q-A-M. The Q is silent, my dude. So that was like a joke for a while on the stream. Like I said, to the point of obnoxiousness and probably annoyance. But that was at a YouTube party. That I was lucky enough, Screenwave, you know, was lucky. They were kind enough to invite me to this party that they were invited to. And so, yeah, I'm a lucky dude. I swiggity swoop into these parties that I kind of don't feel like I belonged in. And, like this, it's weird. I don't know how I got to this point. But the YouTube gaming party, I didn't really recognize it. There's a lot of Minecraft streamers and gamers at the YouTube party last year. Like, whenever I talked to someone, it seemed like everyone there had a YouTube channel that was devoted to Minecraft. And we're talking, like, you know, millions of subs. And here I am, you know, just some asshole who talks about scum and crust and streams shitty games every now and then. I don't feel like I belong. That's not to say I'm not chuffed to be at such a thing. It's wonderful. It's really cool. The Twitch party last year was cool too because I met Andy Milanakis. That was that was strange, but he was nice enough. And yeah, there was a lot of that was more down to earth. That was less Bryams with a Q, and more like just like wings and like mozzarella sticks, and just like simple drinks, beer. It was at a bowling alley. Well, no, that was 2 years ago. The bowling alley was 2 years ago. It was kind of like an underground lounge club slash thing. It was relatively simple compared to the YouTube thing. But I'm not much of a drinker, so like I go to these things and I kind of don't really get fucked up. I just have a couple drinks and just, you know, hang out, talk to people. Usually just talk to people I know. Maybe network a little bit. No one knows who the fuck I am, which is great. I don't think I fit the molds for a lot of these types of parties anyway. Like, I don't do face cam. I don't, like, stick with, like, an esport. You know, I don't promote DX Racer chairs or anything like that. And I'm not, that's not me throwing shade. I think whatever your hustle is, do you. You know, that's great. But, I feel like I'm infiltrating these places like Solid Snake. That's cool. Face that way, yes. You know, also when it comes to parties, yeah, I'm not like a crazy party animal type guy. I've been that a little bit here and there, but I tend to just like the free food. Someone says, I can't picture Vinny dancing, I just can't. Good for you, you won't have to ever see that, because it never happens. It never happens. I only do the stanky leg. This maze is really, really, really no joke. There is so much going on here. Some would say too much, and I would agree with that. I finally did something right as Snake. Go me. I'm pretty much an expert now. Ah, lame. Gotta go around. Yeah. Huh. The ultimate battle. Congratulations, you just played yourself. That's okay, Diddy Kong has things like this banana. I used to be hated for my bananas. I was like, you know, in like a match of 4 players when we played this game back in the day, it was just banana spam every day. People were trying to do their fights, I would just hide in the corner and just banana them. Alright, I believe that'll be the end of this meeting. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Listen. Remember, you can be your own person. I encourage it. Anyway, we'll reconvene in about a week. Less than a week. 5 or 6 days. 5 days. Codependency is not good. Remember, chat. You'll be okay on your own. But no, really, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And when I get back from PAX, we'll finish up this game. I'll continue streaming a little bit of Far Cry, Bloodborne, Kirby, and then we'll start thinking about Link's Awakening and shit like that. So, yep. Someone said, I'll binge Star Trek TNG while you're away. That's a great idea. You should do that. Everyone, maybe. Just careful on the first couple seasons. You might stub your toe.